All right, it's something we don't want to hear, but it's going to happen either way. More rain in the forecast, right, Rachel?
Yeah, unfortunately, we are going to be getting more rain in that forecast. But right now, we're going to go over, again, storm reports from the hectic day that we had yesterday. Mostly wind damage is centralized in the Canfield-Boardman area. But additionally, on top of that, we did get quite a bit of rainwater. Now, this graphic's numbers are a little bit off, but if we look at the color and numerical values up here, some areas did end up getting almost 3 inches of rain, and we definitely got to see that in some of the photos that we got yesterday. This is from Maria, and this is from the TJ Maxx that was over in Boardman. Notice how waters were getting up to the tire well. That's just how much rain was falling. In some areas, I even saw yesterday that we were getting around 5 inches an hour. That's how much rain was being dropped from this system. And what's coming up? Well, the National Weather Service in Cleveland, they are doing the damage survey in Mahoning County in order to determine whether or not that wind damage was specifically from a tornado or if it was from straight line wind damage. The way that the debris is thrown is deterministic of what ends up being called. Taking a quick look out at the Canfield Fairgrounds on our Main Street cam, we can see that it is still very cloudy and overall still pretty gloomy out there. And as we head on throughout the rest of the day, we will be seeing some more rain and thunderstorms as we head on into the second half of the day, with temperatures in the low 80s. And a little step-by-step of what we are expecting to see this afternoon as we head on into the 2-3 o'clock hours. That's when we're going to expect to see it ramp up significantly. Notice that we're seeing a little bit of red, that heavier rainfall, and that will continue as we head on into the evening and towards sunset hours. And by the time we make it on into the overnight, we will be seeing more isolated showers for the first half of the overnight, but beyond midnight, that's when rain chances really start to begin to fall and become much more isolated than it would be as earlier in the day. Tuesday, we are going to be expecting to see some rain. However, it is much more isolated and scattered than what we are expecting to see today. Notice how we're only getting a couple of little pop-up showers as we make our way throughout the day and on into the overnight, where we will begin to see much more drying out and maybe even some cloud clear up as well. As we head on into the rest of the week, Wednesday is going to be our most dry day with very limited chances for some rain, and again, it would be more on the isolated side. Thursday is when we're going to start to see an increase in rain chances, and much with the addition of some storm chances as well. Friday is when we're going to see yet another cold front begin to move its way on through, and that is what's going to be associated with all of that rain. Friday evening is when we're going to be seeing more of that, but it will start to decrease as we head on into the weekend, where we will begin to see some calming of our weather. Otherwise, we are going to be looking at relatively consistent temperatures as we make our way throughout the week. We're going to be sticking around the low 80s as we start out the week, but as we make our way on into midweek, that's when we'll start to see a little bit of warming. Unfortunately, after that cold front, however, that's when we're going to see our temperatures take a slight dip, but overall, we're still sticking in the low to mid 80s as we head throughout this 7-day period. Matt and Milena.
All right, we'll try not to complain. At least it's consistent, right?
Well, we're not in the high 90s, and you know, these aren't going to be all-day rain events, right, Rachel?
No, they are not going to be all-day rain events. It is going to be very isolated and mostly towards the afternoon, evening hours.
All right. After yesterday, we can handle anything.
Well, I'll tell you.
Thank you, Rachel.